And the name of the podcast show is No Man Left Behind. No man left behind. And you can just plug in woman too. We're going to be politically correct. No man or no woman left behind. The uncomfortable conversation that we have to have before getting on the road. The uncomfortable conversation. What happens if this happens? What happens if something happens to your bike? What happens if you get sick? What happens if we don't get along? What happens if the weather gets bad? What is our, in the Marine Corps, we used to call it, what is our contingency plan if everything doesn't go right? My old sergeant major used to say this. When you get to whining and complaining and talking about different things, he'd say, so you're trying to tell me the enemy has guns too, and they're trying to kill you. You got to have a contingency plan just in case something go wrong. That's the beauty of the social experiment, is because we supposed to be talking to each other and being able to have plans for grown man and grown woman type scenarios that happens on the road. If I have a catastrophic thing that happens to my bike, my motor blows, what are you going to do, guys? Are we going to sit here and wait on Sarge and feel sorry for Sarge? Or are we going to have Sarge get in a rental car and follow behind us and cheer us on and carry waters and then come back on the back end and get his bike when we come back through? Or are we going to leave Sarge there at a hotel while they're working on his bike and perhaps Sarge catches up with us? Or we're going to give Sarge a Greyhound bus ticket and let him go back to the crib and let them fix on his bike and eventually he has to fly and go get his bike later? What are we going to do? Does Sarge have AAA or I think the towing service is Good Sam or Good Son? Does he have a towing package? Does Sarge have an ESP? Does Sarge have insurance? Does Sarge have medical insurance? Does he have TRICARE? What happens if Sarge gets in an accident or gets sick, he has to go to the hospital? Do we know what the deal is with Sarge? Do we know who to call if Sarge is sick and he can't move? Who do we call? Who do we allow? Who do we let know in the network to contact Sarge's family to make sure Sarge's family knows what's going on so we can get him the proper help and attention that he needs? Are we doing those things? When we say we have an emergency savings or emergency credit card, well, y'all got $500. Man, we know $500 on an emergency credit card for a cross-country run is not an emergency. That ain't enough, player. We've already talked about on a good day when nothing goes wrong, this trip is about $1,500 to $2,000 when nothing goes wrong. So when things go wrong, you might as well just go ahead and multiply that. Have we talked about the uncomfortable conversation? Well, Sarge, you don't ask me all that stuff. I'm grown. You don't get in my business. But I guarantee if something goes wrong, we're all going to be in your business at that point. And if I respect you, I'm going to be willing to have the uncomfortable conversation with you about me and about you to make sure that we're all on the same sheet of music. That's brotherhood and sisterhood. So with that being said, man, I'm about to go. I got to get my behind to work, and I know